Heart of Thorns has some of the, in my opinion, most fun meta events, but if you've just leveled to level 80, you may be confused about what is actually going on. Well, in this video we're going to go over the Verdant Brink Meta event and what you need to do to contribute. The Verdant Brink Meta follows the day and night cycle in Heart of Thorns, where the survivors of the crash have to do what they can to secure their outposts during the day as mordrem's forces become stronger and more hostile during the night. So during the day you'll be helping these survivors get supplies, clear out their camps, stock up on food, or even escort doctors to safety. Then during the first half of the night, players need to hold back the tide of mordrem trying to wreck the campsites before the mordrem champions appear during the second half, which then in turn need to be killed. There are 5 outposts in Verdant Brink: the Jaka Itzel, Noble Crash Site, Pact Encampment, Pale Reaver Rally, and the Ordnance Corps. These outposts need to be defended, fortified, and ideally brought up to the max progression. This can be done by doing the events for this outpost, so people have to spread out and help where needed. Each of these 5 outposts have their own little meta events which have to be completed first. After that, the smaller events will pop up around the outposts. At the Jaka Itzel outpost, you'll have to clear the mordrem first and end with slaying of the wyvern. The Noble Crash Site also has a hostile infection that needs taken care of, and ultimately has you clear the ground so a Pact helicopter can land. The Pact Encampment will have you clear out the camp, appoint a camp leader, and destroy mordrem tendrils. For the Pale Reavers, you'll have to slay mordrem breachers and destroy a colossal vine. The last one is the Ordnance Corps, and again you start by clearing the hostiles from the outpost and end with planting bombs to destroy the Blighting Tree. After clearing and establishing these footholds around Verdant Brink and making it until nighttime, the real trouble begins. The first half of the night is spent building up and defending rally points. Maintaining control over these rally points around an outpost is critical for map meta event progression, so again, people need to spread out and help where needed. Each outpost has a primary rally point and 3 secondary rally points. At timer 4430, 3430, and 2430, these will be besieged and need to be defended. The priority order for the rally points is as follows: defending or taking back rally points, escorting soldiers to rally points, doing supply runs, and killing rampaging mordrem. Raising the supply levels of a rally point allows it to build extra defenses such as barricades and turrets. Every soldier that gets escorted raises the supply level by an entire level. Supplies dropped in by players gives 1/5 of a level. Then during the second half of the night, when there's 20 minutes and 30 seconds left on the timer, bosses will appear in the canopy over the 5 outposts. There will be a chopper in each of the 5 outposts to take you up. The Noble Crash Site will have Axemaster Gwillion. The Axemaster uses deadly melee attacks as stealth. During his stealth you won't be able to see him unless you have the Nuok Stealth Detection Mastery. While stealthed, he will mark random players for death, putting a countdown timer on them. If Gwillion is not revealed before the timer runs out, all affected players, not under the effect of invulnerability, will be downed. Jaka Itzel outpost will lead to Kotoni and Huetzi. These two act and fight like their weaker counterparts. Huetzi will smash his giant weapon as well as bounce to knock players around. Kotoni may evade ranged attacks and frequently uses poison areas while utilizing stealth to get away. At about 1/3 of their health, they will jump away and start healing up. Break their Defiance bar as quick as you can to stop this. The bouncing mushrooms can be used to get to their higher platform. The Ordnance Corps will be besieged by the Tetrad of Mordrem Champions. This trio of mordrem champions is located high on a pillar, and you'll need the bouncing mushroom mastery of the Itzel lore track to reach them effectively. Or mounts, of course. Morthwell is the slowest of the 3 but deals massive damage. Kadok is fastest and hard to avoid, and Anvil will be spellcasting. If at all possible, try and tank these away from each other, as close proximity to each other makes them stronger. After these 3 are defeated, Spellmaster Maxen will appear. This champion closes off the outer ring of the pillar with heavy gusts of wind, which will blow you off. Stay in the center with him and jump over or dodge through his shockwaves to avoid getting pushed into the gusts. Pact Encampment will get you to the Wyvern Matriarch. The Wyvern Matriarch is probably the most straightforward and beginner friendly, as you'll only need gliding to reach her. During the fight she will start to take off. When her Defiance bar pops up, Break it as quick as you can to prevent her from taking flight. Should she succeed in taking off, she will be immune to all damage and swoop the area, possibly one-shotting you. The weaker wyverns that spawn during the fight can be used to rally downed players. And the Pale Reavers will have to deal with the Wyvern Patriarch. If you do not have the Updraft Mastery, I wouldn't go to Wyvern Patriarch. At 75%, 50% and 25% health, he will create a protective barrier around himself and set the floor on fire. Players need to jump off the platform to the lower areas and grab the Wyvern eggs. Then, while using the updrafts with their glider, use the 1 skill and aim it at the Patriarch to damage his shield until it breaks. Reaching tier 4 in this map will increase the chance of getting a bladed armor box from the meta, with it being guaranteed if you have 100% or above participation. I hope you enjoyed this short guide for the Verdant Brink Meta. If you did, don't forget to boop that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. Take care my friends, and bye bye.